we had a wonderfully calm crossing of Bass Strait, and we spent our first night in Tasmania at Forth. We carried 2 gas bottles with us, and right on cue, the one we were using ran out. We had heard that it was much easier to get them filled at a major town, so we headed back to Devonport. It took us much longer than expected to get it filled, so Tim and Cheryl headed off and we'd catch up later. We left the Bass Highway and headed up to Braddon's Lookout. This was our first real look at Tasmania. We followed the Bass Highway through to Penguin. Then we drove inland to Rihanna. We stayed at Pioneer Park Camping Ground. It was $21 for a non-powered site with toilets and showers. A beautiful, isn't it? So tall and straight. The rubbings on this tree is a sure sign there's deer around. The next day it was on to Wynyard to catch up with our good friends Jeff and Carol. They were on their way back to Devonport for their trip back to the mainland. We had a great catch up and a good lunch at the Wharf Hotel. After lunch, we decided to head straight for Stanley. We drove past the Highfield Historical Site. Building commenced in 1826 by convict labour. The property originally occupied around 350,000 acres of agricultural land. Today it only covers 9.5 acres. The site is open to the public 7 days a week. The Nut is a distinctive flat-topped volcanic plug, and it's a major landmark in the historic coastal town of Stanley. You can reach the summit by taking a chairlift or hiking up a very steep walking track. In 1825, the Van Diemen's Land Company was granted land in northwestern Van Diemen's Land. This included Stanley. It was settled in 1826 and originally called Circular Head. It was later named Stanley after Lord Stanley, the British Secretary of State for War and Colonies. The Stanley Hotel was established in 1847. It's a fuchsia. Huge. The Circular Head Post Office was first established in 1845. It was renamed Stanley Post Office in 1882. Stanley is the main port for commercial fishing on Tasmania's northwest coast, and commercial crayfishing is a significant part of the industry. The town relies on fishing and tourism for its economy. We had planned to take the chairlift up to the summit of the Nut, but it was such a windy day that the chairlift wasn't running. That's a good excuse to revisit Stanley. These burrows belong to little penguins. The parent birds are away fishing during the day and return in the evening. This poor little chick didn't make it. The Stanley Recreation Ground welcomes vans and RVs. The sites are unpowered and you must be fully self-sufficient. There are no toilets, but there's a dump point on site. No bookings are taken and it's $15 a night or $70 a week. Breakfast out of the wind. Very windy today, although the locals say it's just a breeze. This is the Godfrey's Beach Penguin Viewing Platform. It says that 34 little penguins came ashore last night and they started arriving around 9:14. The platform doesn't obstruct the way of the penguins. They can walk straight underneath it and continue their journey up the hill to their burrows. There's a penguin track. This little fella is a Tasmanian paddy melon.
Very touchy.
We're on our way to Montagu, and we're finally going to catch up with Tim and Cheryl. Montagu is in the northwest of Tasmania. The campground is situated on the shores of a shallow channel between mainland Tasmania and Robbins Island. Beautiful clear water.
Out of the 10.
Pretty close to 10, don't it?
Sea urchin.
Oh yeah. Just don't want too many going on. Yeah, yeah.
Praying that they don't go into my head.
And the driver was on because everything had a
Where is this
Take a video, Chris. Go on. Don't reckon, Myla.
Yeah.
That's for crayfish.
No, spear guns, so we can,
I mean, that's the size you'd use for crayfish.
Oh,
It might be quick when you take them off. Otherwise, they're suctioned so tight you can't have that shell.
You just went through that.
Yeah, I know.
That's tough.
so beautiful.
It bent my shucking.
These people are locals and they were holidaying here during the school holidays. They're a very self-sufficient lot and they gathered these abalone and sea urchins off the rocks nearby. They also enjoy the seasonal delicacy of mutton bird. which I believe is an acquired taste, a mix of seafood and chicken. We have thoroughly enjoyed our time at Montagu, especially talking to the locals. In the next video, we'll be travelling down the beautiful west coast.